longer as we measured them. They both weighed in at 147 pounds and both have significantly rehydrated, we suspect, overnight. Rules of the bout with our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
The Carlos Baldomir Arturo Gatti fight is scheduled for 12 rounds using the unified rules of the Association of Boxing Commissions. There is no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight. In case the cut is caused by an accidental headbutt, we go to the scorecards after 4 rounds have been completed, and you cannot be saved by the bell in any round, including the 12th and final round. Jim!
You never know when it's going to be Arturo Gatti's last performance here in Boardwalk Hall. There isn't an empty seat to be found anywhere. Michael Buffer, pre-fight introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Atlantic City's famous Boardwalk Hall, where tonight, by way of Caesars Atlantic City, main events in association with Saquon Ringside Promotions are proud to present the featured bout of the evening, 12 rounds of boxing for the welterweight championship of the world. Sanctioned by the WBC and sponsored by Nemiroff. This contest is governed by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board Boxing Commissioner Larry Hazard Sr., Chairman Tony Orlando. At ringside, the 3 judges who will be scoring this contest on the 10-point system, Tommy Kazmarek, Hubert Min, and John Stewart. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Wayne Hedgepeth. And now, for the thousands in attendance, standing room only, sold out Atlantic City's Boardwalk Hall, and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Fighting out of the red corner, wearing white, official weight 147 pounds. Professional record, 40 victories, including 31 knockouts, with 7 defeats. From Jersey City, New Jersey, the former junior lightweight world champion, former light welterweight world champion, and current IBA welterweight champion of the world, the ultimate blood and guts warrior, Arturo Thunder Gatti. And his opponent in the blue corner, wearing white and blue, official weight 147 pounds. Professional record, 42 victories, including 12 knockouts, with 9 defeats and 6 draws. Damas y caballeros de Santa Fe, Argentina, the reigning and defending linear and true welterweight champion of the world, Carlos Tata Baldomir.
All right, you fighters, receive your instructions in the dressing room. Obey my commands at all times, and above all, protect yourself at all times. Good luck to you. Touch them up.
Is Baldomir a one-fight wonder?
Well,
Can Gatti be Gatti? He certainly looks as big, or even bigger than Baldomir, against a true, strong welterweight.
well, the one thing I think tonight, Gatti, for the first time probably that I've saw him in a career, I say he's the faster fighter, which is going to be very interesting. I don't think that Baldomir has the speed nor the experience in these super tight fights to compete with Gatti.
Baldomir clearly the larger man. Gatti might have had a quickness advantage earlier this year against Thomas Damgaard as well. Generally speaking, And Emmanuel, you and I both made this point a week ago. When Arturo Gatti fights against hard, physical fighters who can brawl just as well as he does, he tends to box. And he told us absolutely yesterday, I'll be the boxer in this fight. I'll use my jab. I'll try to create distance in the ring when I can. But sooner or later, I'm going to have to stand my ground. That's what the crowd is here for.
Well, also, Jim, you was able to make him say, which he was trying to avoid, that he's going to do a little bit of everything. He's always going to resort back to slugging at a certain point. But he said we'll see a little bit of everything tonight.
There's one little new thing from Gatti as he hooks off the jab, but then takes a right hand from Baldomir that backs him up. Carlos Baldomir is not a big puncher, but he's a hard fighter.
But also he takes a good punch, and that's a big factor too.
Indeed, observers in the gym say you could hit him in the head with a sledgehammer, and you're not going to hurt him. If you're going to hurt Carlos at all, you'd better slow him down to the body. Gatti turns to a southpaw stance, then switches back to conventional, and fires the jab. Uppercut from Gatti. One of his strategies, try to get Baldomir to fall onto an uppercut.
And both guys are changing right hands, but it seems like Baldomir has a pretty steady chin, and Gatti is a good puncher. But I'm just concerned right now how the fight's going to shape up, because I think it's going to end up being a slugging match, because Baldomir takes a good punch, and Gatti sees that he can hit him, so I think Gatti's going to start fighting and slugging a lot sooner than he said he was.
Gatti partially blocked both of Baldomir's right hands. Earlier in the sequence just before that, Gatti landed an excellent left hook inside. One thing to watch for with Gatti, he has damaged his right hand in 5 of his last 6 fights. Sometimes breaking it, sometimes simply mashing it up so badly that it's just as bad as a break. We'll see how long the right hand lasts tonight before there's damage. Good left hook inside again by Gatti. He's quicker here in the first round than Baldomir, and their heads come together, but without any cut.
Watch your head, watch your head.
Referee Wayne Hedgebeth states the obvious after they bang each other forehead to forehead.
You can already see that Gatti's landed punches that would have had a lot more effect on a junior welterweight, but they have not been that effective on Baldomir because of the physical size.
Body punch by Baldomir, good left hook over the top by Gatti.
Baldomir's face is already reddened on the right side.
Baldomir drives Gatti back into the rope. Nothing sharp there, nothing visibly effective, just hard fighting and coming forward aggressively by Baldomir.
Get into those slugfest with him, okay? Let him do rounds, don't get no slugfest. That's what he wants. Okay, what he's doing, he's throwing the right hand slow to try to get you to bait you into it. All right? Now don't reach with the hook to the body. Find your rhythm.
And when we go to Carlos Baldomir's corner where they speak Spanish, our interpreter is Jerry Olaya.
Your head is coming in with the left. Turn to the same side. Take it easy. Take it. Don't get worried. Take it easy. There's nothing happening. Don't worry about it. Relax.
Right here you see the two guys colliding with head, but with the heads coming together. You may see more of this simply because of the styles of the two guys.
CompuBox numbers in round 1 relatively even. Baldomir given credit for landing 23 out of 57, Gatti 18 out of 61. Harold Letterman gives the first round to Gatti, although CompuBox numbers sort of preferred Baldomir, who landed 17 of 42 power shots. Gatti with the showier stuff, particularly 2 or 3 very well-spaced left hooks. Gatti quick with the jab and gets away before Baldomir can return. Hard right hand over the top by Baldomir. Gatti throwing twice before moving away. As they trade jabs, it's Baldomir who has the better range right at this moment. There's a hard right hand by Baldomir that backs Gatti off.
Baldomir is getting up on his toes, doing something I've never saw him do, moving and punching from a rhythm, which seems to be working very well for him. You know, he's similar to a lot of the recent fighters from Argentina in recent years. Juan, Roldan, Victor Galindez, they were all physically very strong fighters from Argentina.
Santa Fe is a city of about 350,000 in the Pampas, the famed cattle ranching section of Argentina. Go all the way back to Luis Angel Firpo, who fought Jack Dempsey in a legendary fight in Madison Square Garden and was called the Wild Bull of the Pampas. That's where fighters have come from.
Most all of the guys have been physical outside of the
Right hand by Baldomir. And he bolos the right hand as if to say, I'm going to hit you with it all night.
All right, let him out. His hands do appear to be a little bit quicker.
Now Gatti with the left hand inside. Crowd responds as he knocks Baldomir back.
Is that a welt under the left eye of Gatti?
Yes, so both guys have got well. I think the right eye of Baldomir and the left eye, but Gatti has a history of swelling up and cutting up anyway.
Well, Gatti used to swell and or cut when walking to the ring. His skin has been better in recent years as his conditioning has improved.
Yeah, he's been doing more, busting up his hands and his body more so than his face in recent fights.
Gatti in the southpaw stance, threw a right hand and then fired a wide swinging left. Now Wayne's Hedgepeth worries again about headbutts and separates the fighters, and they go back to boxing. Gatti has switched southpaw 2 or 3 times. That last sequence was the first time in which he's done anything offensive out of that stance.
The fight may not be a clinic, but it's a little too clinical at the moment.
I'm trying to get your rhythm. Okay, look here, with the jab, you're down here. Don't reach up for the head. Your legs are a little too wide. Okay, baby? Now, you see those hooks you're throwing to the head? Yeah. Throw them to the body. Okay? You're winging the hooks really hard to the head. Okay? Don't try so hard. But those same hooks, wing them downstairs to the body, baby. That's all. And keep touching with that right hand to the body. You know he's trying to get that right hand over your jab. Yeah, he did. So you got to keep the leg. That's all right, baby. All right? You see what he's trying to do now, okay? So circle to your right. Circle.
Right here, you can see Baldomir's landing right hands. And in fact, they're having much better exchanges than I ever expected. And here comes another right hand by Baldomir.
Again, Carlos Baldomir, not a hard puncher, but a hard fighter. Stays in, comes forward, takes punishment, keeps dealing it out. Jab numbers through the second round. Baldomir 16 out of 38, Gatti 10 out of 59. Gatti throwing the jab more frequently, Baldomir landing it more consistently, according to CompuBox. Those
Emmanuel,
jabs
do you think that Gatti's doing the right thing simply by trying to outbox Baldomir?
Well, I think he's mixing up his boxing and his punching. The biggest surprise, I think, is what you had said earlier last week, Larry, that Baldomir is physically a stronger guy, and he's been able to absorb the punches from Gatti better than anyone I think Gatti has fought in the past. Gatti's landed some great punches, but they haven't had the effect that he had when he was landing with those 140-pound guys.
And Baldomir hits him with a right-hand flush on the inside. One of the better punches of the night for Baldomir. Gatti seems bedeviled at this moment by Baldomir's right hand, and he takes a left hook as he worries about how to stay away from the right hand.
Right, Jim. Baldomir seems to have felt a home for the right hand. He's landing right hands consistently, and it seems like Gatti has not found any particular defense for it, but rolling his shoulders or trying to dance out of the way. He's just getting hit with those right hands.
Stop punching. Break. I got you.
Another right hand by Baldomir. Gatti either needs to keep his left hand up or counter better, and there's a good left hook by Arturo Gatti. And another combination by Gatti in return from Baldomir. When Gatti stands in and trades and counters with Baldomir, his hands are faster. But Baldomir's beating him to the punch from the outside.
But you can really see the difference in Gatti fighting a welterweight. You can really see it as each round goes on now. He's landed a lot of punches like he did in the past, but not had the results that he had from in the past.
Low blow by Baldomir landed on Gatti's cup. Wayne Hedgepeth was blocked on the other side. Left hook upstairs from Baldomir as Gatti tries the same from his side. A little bit frustrating for Arturo Gatti now as we come down to stretch in round 3. And Baldomir lands 4 punches in a row.
It seems like,
Baldomir smiling now at the ease with which he's dropping his right hand on Gatti.
yes, and also that he's been able to absorb the blows from Gatti.
Left hook to the body by Baldomir. And you saw him holding his gloves against his ribcage as if to say, come on, hit me in the body. I'm perfectly willing to trade there with you. They jab each other in the middle of the ring. Baldomir with another right hand, and now Gatti lands a right as Baldomir tries to break away. Another right hand by Baldomir, and another. Gatti counters with a left, gets rocked with a right. Baldomir landing 2 to Gatti's 1, and down the stretch of the round, it was Baldomir who won the exchange.
Not only one exchange, seemed like he's turned the whole momentum of the fight, and it looks like it's going to be pretty tough for Gatti the rest of the night.
Don't get caught up in the crowd. Come on, champ, you're getting caught up in the crowd, baby. No good. You got to box this guy, okay? Don't stand inside. All right?
Very well done. Very well done. That's it. Where's the water? Where's the water? That's it. That's how we're going to win. That's how we're going to win.
The question here is whether Gatti is a good enough boxer to really handle Baldomir.
The answer to me, no. And he's still got the warrior in him, and he's going to be fighting more. But the weight difference is a big factor, and I'm looking at the crowd, they're in total disbelief that they can see someone standing there punch for punch with Arturo like this and having the better of the exchanges.
Harold, how do you have it through 3?
Okay, Jim. 2 rounds to 1. 29-28. Carlos Baldomir. Jim, I gotta tell you something. I don't know who said Arturo Gatti was going to box. This is the old Arturo Gatti. This fight is being fought on a dime in the middle of the ring. No clinches at all, and they're just whacking each other with power shots. I mean, it's a very easy fight to score. Just watch it very carefully, just like there. See who's landing the greatest shots, and that's who's winning the round.
And the blood is beginning to spurt from below from Arturo Gatti's right eye. So Gatti's right eye has already been opened underneath by Baldomir's punching, and Baldomir smiles as he lands another big right-hand shot across the top. CompuBox numbers in round 3 found Baldomir landing 19 power shots in the last minute of the round. That's a festival.
Last year, I was out in Los Angeles training with my fighters, and I was fortunate to be in the gym with Baldomir for about 2 weeks, and the guy trains, he boxes 13 and 14 rounds sometimes a day. He's in excellent condition.
Again, the right hand lands for Baldomir. Fighting very confidently. What he's seen in the first 3 rounds clearly convinces Baldomir that he has the measure of Arturo Gatti. Looking at this, you remember some of Gatti's great comebacks throughout his career. He was being trimmed by Gabriel Ruelas, but he landed a miracle left hook.
Gatti's always a dangerous fighter. He's a tremendous puncher. He turns his punches all the way through, and he's got the warrior heart, so you can never relax with him.
The comeback against Wilson Rodriguez. Various comebacks in his fights with Ivan Robinson and Angel Manfredi. Though he wasn't able to win, he constantly kept coming forward. Gatti is going to need a rally here tonight as this fight is going Baldomir's way early.
Fight people who watched him in the gym in Los Angeles told me you can't hurt him in the head. You might be able to hurt him in the body.
You're talking about Baldomir.
Yes, and Gatti has not delivered anything substantial to the body in this fight.
And Gatti can punch to the body and to the head.
Well, we watched Arturo Gatti knock out both Jesse James Leija and Leonard Doreen with body punches. Well, you know that he can do damage there, at least against smaller fighters.
You saw him land one of his best punches of his fight, a right hand right on the chin of Baldomir, right in the rope, and Baldomir come right back and took control of the fight right away.
Gatti still headhunting.
So you're not using your jab, baby. You just walk.
Carlitos, you got him. You got him. Are you okay? Good, good, good. You see, he's cut. He's cut. He's being hit a lot. He's coming to brawl. That's great for you. Throw the right. Remember that.
All right, come on, champ. How we feeling? Good. Okay, give me some combinations now. Okay, don't let this guy steal the show from you. You out there, work the jab, head feints.
This may be Gatti's best punch of the entire fight. You can't get a better punch than that, hardly. And even after landing that type of a blow, watch, you see right away Baldomir came right back again.
CompuBox numbers in 4. Baldomir, 29 of 48 power shots, 60%. Gatti, 10 out of 22. Harold Letterman gave the first round to Arturo Gatti. It was a very close round. It's not inconceivable that on some official scorecards, Baldomir might be up 4 rounds to none. Good left jab by Gatti. And you heard Buddy McGirt begging Arturo to start throwing the jab, start boxing, quit brawling. You heard the people in Baldomir's corner, trainer Jose Lemos saying, hey, he's brawling with you. That's great. He couldn't have asked for better.
Gatti's boxing, but he's boxing flat-footed. If Gatti would start using his footwork and moving around the ring, I think he would have better success because Baldomir is slow on his feet. He walks in, fighting, but Gatti's boxing, but he's sitting right there in front of him instead of moving around and making him use his feet more.
Keep it clean. Keep it clean, fellas.
Baldomir described his style
Good right hand by Arturo.
as intelligent aggression, and I think that's an apt description.
These guys are throwing some tremendous bombs. I'm just waiting to see who's going to give in. Somebody's going to have to give in. These solid punches with full force from both guys.
Well, Baldomir may not knock Gatti out, but he's busting him up, and he's hitting him more than he's getting hit.
He's hitting Gatti with the
Gatti's
right
hurt.
hand.
Gatti's hurt.
And
Gatti
Arturo
is hurt.
badly hurt by that last right hand. Welterweights are bigger. Arturo Gatti is finding out. Big left hook by Gatti. Can't back Baldomir off. Baldomir keeps coming.
Arturo Gatti fights.
Gatti tipping down on the ropes, trying to gain leverage for a big left hook. Baldomir just keeps scraping him with the right hand. Gatti seems to have gotten some of his legs back after having been badly wobbled 30 seconds ago. Swinging for the fences, Arturo Gatti. It's not going to help. He needs to listen to Buddy McGirt. He needs to box.
You know, and Gatti is not just trying to survive. He's still trying to knock Baldomir out in the same round when he's out on his feet.
Yeah, there was a good
Good left hook to the body and a left hook upstairs by Gatti. Baldomir walks right through it. Hard right hand by Baldomir. Landed flush. Gatti taking shots and standing in front of the Argentine. Big left hook to the body by Gatti, but he backs off as the blood begins to flow inside his right eye. Arturo Gatti cannot get out of the way of Carlos Baldomir's power shots.
And Baldomir can take Gatti's power shot, but he does have to.
That's the overall. Gatti is landing power shots flush. Baldomir is walking through them. The crowd loves the action, but Arturo's getting busted up.
Carlos, that's great. Breathe deeply. Breathe deeply. Breathe deeply. Drink. Nice, Carlos. Nice, Carlos. Close your eyes.
Hey, let's go back to the body with him. Smart, man. Let's go, champ. You taking too many right hands, no good. Okay, don't catch them shots. Get up under them or move your legs. Stick your legs out. Take a nice deep breath, baby. Come on, champ.
Right here, you see Gatti get hit with a right hand that really hurt him. It's like a delayed reaction, and you could see the effects of it. And instead of trying to survive, as soon as he got himself together, he started throwing punches right back.
Baldomir has virtually taken the crowd out of the fight.
In the 5th round by CompuBox County landed 51 of 79 power shots. Gatti didn't do too badly, 21 out of 38. But he's simply getting strafed at will by Carlos Baldomir. And Gatti throws a few jabs, but also tries to land a right-hand haymaker. Across the ring, veteran boxers, the very great Pernell Whitaker, now retired, Paulie Malignaggi, quite active, are standing and yelling at Arturo between rounds, trying to get him to box the way they would. But Arturo Gatti has a brawler's heart. And Baldomir is taking advantage of that.
He's taking advantage of it. He's won the crowd over for the most part.
And
great
now,
body shot.
Gatti backed away, holding his right hand. I believe the right hand has just been hurt for the first time in the fight. It seemed to be hurt while he was trying to block a Baldomir body shot. And let's see if Arturo tries to throw the right hand. Generally speaking, once it's hurt, he goes a minute or two without throwing it and then eventually goes back to it. It may well be broken right now. You can see that he's holding his hand awkwardly in the glove.
Baldomir predicted that he would knock Gatti out in this round.
Gatti can't throw his right hand. He turns southpaw, hoping to set up a left, and throws the right hand again. There it is. Arturo Gatti goes 30 seconds or so without throwing the right hand because he hurt it, and then the courage returns, and the fighter is back. Gatti continues to land flush shots, and Baldomir shrugs them off as if to say, hey, welcome to the welterweight division.
Gatti's landed some tremendous shots in this fight. I mean, shots that would have knocked out the average junior welterweight.
Sometimes difficult for the layman to understand how 7 pounds can make such a giant difference.
Yeah, you know, Baldomir was saying that he normally walks around sometimes up to 187 pounds.
And indeed was over 187 when he prepared for, or began preparations for this fight. 12 weeks of training gets him down from 187 or 190 down to 147. He says he hates it. It's agony. It's good for him. It puts him in the right mood for the fight.
But you know, still, in a fight with Gatti, you can never relax. As Arturo Gatti not only keeps fighting, but he punches with KO power even late in the fights, where a lot of guys lose a knockout strip like Mike Tyson in late rounds. Gatti is still dangerous all the way to the very end.
What happened to your arm? Is it all right?
I got it, babe. Okay, champ, listen. Much better round this round now. Stop winging so hard to the head. Bring him downstairs. Give him more combinations. You're starting to put it together now, okay? Keep that head moving. Get up under them shots and step around them, okay, baby? Yeah. All right, let's go now. Let's start using that jab. Stay to the body with that hook in that right hand. Don't worry about his head, okay? Don't worry about his head, baby. We still got time to go. But don't sit there and take no shots, okay? He's trying to land that right hand.
Right here, you know, you see Baldomir land the left hook. Seemed like it was a left hook to the body there. I didn't see any damage to Gatti's right hand that could have caused any damage.
He held his wrist. The punch landed on the wrist.
CompuBox numbers in the 6th round. Baldomir 22 out of 46, his lowest output of the fight. Gatti 17 out of 50. Harold, how do you have the fight scored through 6?
I'll get you 5 rounds to 1, 69-55, Carlos Baldomir. I tell you, I never thought Arturo Gatti wouldn't box. It's absolutely a slugging match. Baldomir landing the better power shots. 5-1, Baldomir.
So Gatti's in trouble on the scorecards. He seems to be in trouble in terms of his capacity to knock a larger man out. He's bleeding from underneath the right eye. His right hand may be broken. I guess he's got him right where he wants him, right?
You know, this is not the type of a guy to have anything broken or hurting with like Baldomir. But if Gatti would just move and box and take advantage of his boxing skills and his legs, he still could get back into this fight, but he cannot do it standing in one spot.
For Gatti's trainer, Buddy McGirt, one of the most celebrated trainers in the sport, He may still be emotionally trying to get over his last visit to Boardwalk Hall, June 10, when his fighter Antonio Tarver was taken apart by the very great Bernard Hopkins. This could be another frustrating loss for Buddy McGirt.
But Buddy, who was a very great boxer himself, a good skill for boxing, knows that Arturo's key to victory in this fight is boxing.
Watch your head. Watch your head.
But when a man with a brawler's heart goes in against a brawler and the brawler is beating him, it's hard to get him to boxing.
I agree with you 100%, Jim.
But right now, Baldomir just looks like the better fighter, fighting in smart, fighting in strong, and a big right hand that he just landed there.
Flush on the chin.
Steps back, doesn't get caught with too much, and whatever he gets caught with, he can handle.
And Gatti still has not picked up any defense for the right hand. He's basically, for the most part, losing the fight off of one punch for the most part. Not like he's getting hit with jabs or with a lot of body punches or hooks. It's primarily a consistent right hands.
Gatti smiles after having careened into the ropes and bounced off. Little showbiz there. Cutman Joe Souza has done a good job with the cut under the right eye of Arturo Gatti and has stopped the bleeding for now.
In a long time since he came off the ropes, both figuratively and literally, to land one punch that could change a fight.
Gatti's boxed a very intelligent fight right now. If he would just keep working his jab and find some way of counter-punching Baldomir's right hands, he could win this fight.
Well, that was probably the smartest round that Arturo Gatti has fought since the beginning of the fight, but even at that, he might not have won it.
Real nice. Close your eyes. Drink, open your mouth, drink. Doing real good. But bend your waist, and that way you won't be so tired. Move your waist, bend your waist. Everything's going well, Carlos. Bend your waist and hit, bend your waist and hit. Throw an upper.
That's because he knows he can't outspeed you. So you got to feint him. You got to lure him into it, baby. Okay. All right, play chess with him. All right. But once he gets close, get your combinations off and get out of there. Okay? Okay. All right, baby.
8th round. Stay in your corner. 8th round.
I don't know that Buddy McGirt is describing a fight that
All right, watch your head. Watch
Gatti
your head.
is capable of fighting.
Well,
Haymaker left hook attempted by Gatti there.
Gatti's throwing powerful right hands again. If he would just keep working his jab and learn some counter punch to avoid getting hit with the right hands, but I don't think that's going to happen tonight because he's getting hit with that same punch over and over and over. If he would take that away, it would be a totally different fight.
How could he take away Baldomir's right hand, which is landing more or less
by
at will?
rolling his shoulder and letting him miss it, coming back with a right uppercut. Because he hits it, all he is, he rolls the shoulder and come back with a counter uppercut, and it would land.
Not a knockdown. Gatti simply rolled over by Baldomir's shoulder. Baldomir walks to the other side and waits. Hedgepeth brings them back together. They touch gloves.
That was the best move Gatti's made all night.
Baldomir's very conscious of wanting to land a left hook. He would probably do better to stick to the jab because whenever he throws his left hook, Baldomir immediately counters with the right and lands it.
Stop pushing. Keep it clean.
Good jab by Baldomir. Gatti trying to get at Baldomir's body with a left hook.
That's a good move right there. All he has to do is just make Baldomir miss the right hand. That's the only thing he's having.
Now, if he can mix in the jab behind some of that kind of defense, he could begin to get a foothold in the fight.
Wishful thinking, guys.
Got to try something. Although I am beginning to think of the potential attraction of a trip to Argentina, a fight in Buenos Aires. Sounds glamorous, doesn't it?
This crowd is sitting here like it's at a funeral.
And a funeral of some sort it might be.
Gatti's having a good round this round.
Break. All right, stop punching.
Blood is flowing from under Gatti's right eye, but he's beginning to box better, use his jab just a little bit more liberally. Baldomir tries to re-impress the right hand on it. Another right hand by Baldomir. Gatti with a flurry, and Hedgepeth is going to call that a slip, although there was contact on both sides prior to Gatti going down. They crossed their feet, I assume, and Hedgepeth ruled that Gatti had tripped over Baldomir's feet. Low blow by Baldomir. And Baldomir's quite apologetic about the low blow before the referee even gets there. Gatti's walking away, and Baldomir's patting him on the shoulder as if to say, I'm sorry about that. You can see that the Argentine fighter is a sportsman.
This fight is altogether too polite.
All right, now you warm
for
it
my
up now, champ.
taste.
Okay, look here, baby.
It's like retarded.
Just like now, listen. Keep that left hand out there. Keep marinating with that left hand, okay? Okay? Feints, get your combinations off and get out. Don't stand that way for no receipt. Okay, baby? When you get on the ropes, combinations and get out. See, the feints will work. Keep feinting, keep them reaching. Counter and get out.
No hay necesidad de trasladarse tanto cuando uno hace cintura.
Carreto,
Haga cintura y
don't worry about it.
mándele
Just
lo
bend a
golpe
little bit and throw a punch.
hígado, que ahora
And
un
look
golpe
for
al
the
hígado
liver. Look for
es
the
de
liver.
muerte.
That's the killer.
Here you can see Baldomir throwing punches, and Gatti loses his balance. You can see his right leg kind of spent from underneath first. And the referee's call, I think, was a good call. I don't think it was a legitimate knockdown.
I agree. Combi box numbers in the 8th round. Baldomir 18 out of 49. Gatti only 36 punches in that round. That's his low output of the fight. So in order to avoid more of Baldomir's punches, Gatti had to throw fewer himself. That makes the equation for winning rounds a little bit tougher. Once again, Gatti discovers he can land flush with a good shot, and Baldomir walks right through it.
Now, what is that?
Point has been made over and over. Gatti is apparently flexing his legs against the bottom rope. Good body shot by Baldomir. Gatti trying to flurry to the body himself. Gatti jabs upstairs. Baldomir hits him with a left hook.
Watch your footing,
And then a couple
Otaro.
of more little lefts. Baldomir is brilliant at simply putting his hands on you in close quarters. Not trying to land anything big, but landing 3-4 punches before he moves away.
Watching some of the people over there, the supporters and investors in Baldomir, they are so nervous because even though Baldomir is winning, Gatti has such a history of coming back and knocking out guys in the late rounds that they don't feel that comfortable still at this stage.
They're also fighting in Gatti's backyard, with Gatti's fans. And judges don't wear earplugs.
Well, having not been officially knocked down, if Gatti would get to boxing and still avoid getting hit with the right hands, he could still possibly win this fight. But the right hands is the only problem he's having. He's not getting hit with anything else. So if he doesn't box and stay away from the right hands, he could still possibly win a close decision.
I think the only thing that's going to win the fight for Gatti is he's got to brawl with him, got to try to hurt him.
Too strong.
And he is hurt right now.
A sledgehammer would be useful. That he doesn't have. Baldomir flurrying and wailing away. Gatti's mouthpiece comes out. Arturo's ready to trade now. Trying to duck away from Baldomir's punches. Can't find room. Goes to the body. Baldomir won't move. Gatti needs to land one big shot, and he's trying to do it, but he can't get Baldomir off his chest. And now Baldomir throws the punches and lands his own. Big left hook by Gatti. Baldomir didn't feel it. Another big shot, and this time Arturo Gatti is ruined. Absolutely ruined by a Baldomir left hook.
Baldomir just physically
Are
too
we
strong.
seeing the last
Can you continue?
of
Can you continue?
Arturo Gatti?
Of course he wants to continue, but how much does he have left? That was a big left hook shot, and Arturo's not throwing, and that'll do it.
It wasn't his heart that gave out, it was his body.
Larry, you was right last week. When you said that Baldomir was physically, you felt too strong from him.
Classic case of a bigger, stronger man simply dominating the fight because of his ability to take greater punishment while dealing out significant punishment of his own.
And we have a new major factor in the welterweight division, too.
Because he's not just a pedestrian.
That's right.
Because he's not just a journeyman who got lucky.
And he's an action fighter.
Because the 9 losses and 6 draws on his record don't seem to mean a lot right now, do they?
Nope, and he seems to love fighting over here in America and fighting people in their favorite hometowns.
Carlos Baldomir closed the show, landing 40 of 80 power shots in the 9th round, en route to the final destruction of Arturo Gatti. Here are 2 angles of knockdown number 1, Emmanuel, and unless I miss my guess, it is a left hook that is going to seal the deal. Boom.
Oh, just so many
Just
blows.
a massive shot. Here's another look. And I'll tell you what, Shane Mosley's left hook against Fernando Vargas had nothing on this.
Tremendous punch. You know, he was landing
guy who's
so
not a big
many,
puncher.
so many punches, but he was ready for this fight.
Now, this was an accumulation of punishment, and by this point, the very brave Arturo Gatti simply had nothing left as his body crumpled in a heap before the final Baldomir assault. One more look at the conclusion. And silence in Boardwalk Hall as the assembled Gatti cult tries to accommodate what they've just seen. Let's go to Michael Buffer for the official particulars on the KO.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we go to the official time, a round of applause for the champion who has given us so many thrills here in Atlantic City and around the world, Arturo Gatti. The official time, 2 minutes, 50 seconds, round number 9. The winner and still WBC welterweight champion of the world, Carlos